quick thoughts on the $80 million Fever facility and Stephanie White being like, we're going to be aggressive in free agency and massive names who are available. And I think this is my bold prediction. The Indiana Fever are going to be playing for the WNBA title next year. They
Wow.
have their cornerstone pieces under rookie contracts, and you have the DeWanna Bonners and the Leah Edwards of the league. As for Kelsey Plum, free agent.
The buzz around Indiana Fever basketball is reaching fever pitch, and for good reason. The franchise just dropped jaws with their $880 million facility announcement, and head coach Stephanie White isn't being shy about their ambitions. She's made it crystal clear. They're going all in during free agency, targeting some serious star power. Here's my bold prediction.
Are big name veteran pieces that the Fever have money to go get to put them in position to be playing for a WNBA title. That's my bold prediction.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw Aaliyah Boston talking about the facilities upgrade, which is going to be great because that's really how you compete right now in the women's space. It's why women don't want to go to Chicago as free agents, right? Despite like Angel Reese is going to get more interest there, but the reputation of the ownership and the facilities aren't great.
Expect to see the Fever competing for the WNBA championship next season. The timing couldn't be better. They've got their foundational stars locked in on rookie deals, while elite talents like DeWanna Bonner and Leah Edwards are up for grabs in free agency. The WNBA's free agency period has officially kicked off, and Indiana's making serious waves. Between their state-of-the-art $78 million facility and a roster that's primed for a talent explosion, this isn't your typical offseason shuffle. The Fever have both the cap space and the pull to attract veteran superstars who could transform them into legitimate title contenders.
We felt this way to begin with, that that the Fever were going to be a destination because you have Caitlin Clark, you have Aaliyah Boston, and you have a really, really young team. And I think now with Steph White, who is hands down one of the best coaches in the league, and we saw that with Connecticut, even though they fell a little bit short. I think that, this is going to be big.
Just look at Aaliyah Boston's reaction to the facility upgrades. It's a game changer in women's sports. Compare that to Chicago's situation, where despite having Angel Reese's interest, their subpar facilities and ownership reputation make it tough to attract top talent. Word is that free agents are chomping at the bit to join Caitlin Clark's squad. We're talking about elite defenders, offensive powerhouses, and all-stars who see Indiana as the league's next powerhouse. Stay tuned for our breakdown of 15 top free agents eyeing the Fever, plus 2 veteran game changers at spots 16 and 17 who could revolutionize both the team and the league. This momentum isn't surprising, with young stars like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, plus one of the WNBA's most respected coaches in Steph White, who nearly took Connecticut all the way. Indiana has become a prime destination.
You in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position, and I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
After their most successful season in recent memory, the Fever aren't just making moves. They're orchestrating a complete transformation. Forget standard rebuilding strategies. Indiana's rolling out a 4-phase plan to build a dynasty backed by over $650,000 in cap space. The Indiana Fever are gearing up for a major transformation. At the top of their priority list is scoring sensation Kelsey Mitchell.
I see a lot of players wanting to go in this offseason. A lot of players are going to want to go to the Fever,
who's been dominating with 19.2 points per game and showing perfect chemistry as a backcourt complement to their franchise cornerstone Caitlin Clark. They're not taking any chances with Mitchell. They've already locked in a supermax offer using their core designation. When asked about their ability to add talent, the response was clear. Absolutely, we're in a prime position, and if you're a player who understands the game, watching her style of play, you'd naturally want to be her teammate. But that's just the beginning. The Fever are actively searching for wings who can deliver on both ends of the floor, providing crucial support for their Caitlin-Kelsey duo. In the front court, they're targeting physical players who can bring defensive intensity and complement Aaliyah Boston's presence in the paint. The word around the league is that Indiana is becoming a top destination, with numerous players eyeing the Fever this offseason.
The recognition that you deserve, but maybe weren't necessarily getting before.
No, it's a great question. I think that I think the reality of it is that I don't think people would have known without C-squared. So shout out to Caitlin. That's just the reality. I think she's done an unbelievable job of bringing, obviously her own fans and people that support her. But, for me, I kind of laugh at it and I embrace it at the same time because I've always kind of flew under the radar. I've always kind of been that person or that player, very conservative, very an introvert. So now I get to see the flip side of it. And it's kind of funny. I can laugh about it because I know it's come from a genuine place, but I embrace it from a standpoint of like people not guaranteed to see me play, and now that they do, I just hope I do right by it.
Their shopping list also includes a backup point guard to maintain offensive flow when either Caitlin or Kelsey needs rest. It's all carefully planned to build a championship caliber roster. Team president Kelly Krauskopf made it clear when she referenced Caitlin Clark's ability to elevate her teammates. Smart players want to play alongside her. Beyond just signing talent, they're focused on building an environment that naturally draws elite players. Take Kelsey Mitchell, their homegrown scoring star. She's at a pivotal moment, and her choice could reshape the franchise's future. It's about more than just basketball. It's about cementing a legacy. Regarding recognition, Mitchell shared her perspective. That's an interesting question. Honestly, I don't think people would have known what ESQ was. Shout out to Kayan.
A lot of people don't understand that either about Caitlin. You don't know where those passes are going.
No,
Yo,
it's going to
have
go to where
match
she
those,
thinks
though.
you're going to
Yes.
score from. She's like a football.
Quarterback.
She's passing you into a route.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Indianapolis finest.
I find it both amusing and meaningful. I've always been under the radar, just my personality, pretty reserved, introverted. Now seeing the other side of it, I can laugh because it comes from a genuine place. I embrace it because people weren't guaranteed to see me play before, and now that they do, I just want to deliver. But I've stuck with Indiana through everything. Mitchell's on the verge of being part of something extraordinary. Following the Olympic break, she went on an incredible run, scoring over 20 points in 7 consecutive games. Exactly the kind of offensive punch that elevates teams to elite status. But Mitchell brings more than just scoring. She's the team's backbone. Her connection with Caitlin Clark has been electric, with both players averaging 19.2 points and lighting up opponents.
Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things. Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. She's selling out gyms. Why would you hate against that? We had a sold-out home opener. I think it was a practice game. Like, it wasn't even serious. We benefited from that because now we have all our fans there and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. She is her own economy, and that is amazing.
Mitchell's game keeps evolving too, reaching a career-best 46.8% shooting accuracy last season. Speaking of Clark's game, there's something unique about her passing that many miss. As one player put it, she's like a quarterback, throwing to where she thinks you'll score from, not where you are. While Mitchell's exploring her free agency options, Fever fans shouldn't worry too much. She's been clear about her connection to the city, noting Indianapolis has always been home, and it could be my home again.
Tonight, Williams slips the pass. Oh, Satu! Get that egg out of my basket.
Dallas needed a little bit of juice, a little bit of energy right there. Thank you for that, Satu.
Inside sources suggest she's likely to stay, drawn by the team's promising direction. Now let's discuss the wing situation, because things could get even more exciting. There's one free agent who could transform this team from contender to powerhouse. Satu Sabali. She's already expressed admiration for Clark, saying, "Caitlin's a generational talent who's going to achieve incredible things. She's the face of the game right now, and that's fantastic. She's selling out arenas. Why criticize that? We had a packed house for a practice game."
Prevent that tonight. Gabby Williams with the pick. Oh, behind the back to Jewel. Hello. Showtime on a Wednesday night in C-Town.
That brings new fans to the market and benefits everyone. She's literally her own economy. It's remarkable. Imagine adding a 6'4" dynamo who excels at scoring, defending, and playmaking. That's Sabali in essence. Last season, she put up impressive numbers: 17.9 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. But stats don't tell the whole story. Her defensive instincts and lockdown ability would take the Fever's defense to another level, as shown in plays like her emphatic block that energized Dallas. Get that out of my basket. So can Indiana actually secure Sabali? The outlook is promising, especially since she's already indicated to Dallas that she's ready for a change.
Quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core three like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to, fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well.
Speaking of changes, Gabby Williams is making waves, transitioning from winning Olympic silver with France and Paris to potentially joining Indiana's championship quest. Her highlight reel from SETI showcases why she's such an intriguing prospect.
On the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough.
Williams isn't just another free agent. She's proven herself on the global stage, helping lead France to that Olympic silver. Looking at her last WNBA season with Seattle, she posted solid numbers: 10.3 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game. Even more encouraging was her strong finish, hitting double figures in 4 of her final 5 games. Exactly the consistency Indiana needs.
Just a nice job of putting the ball on the deck, getting Juhász to bite. Nice spin move back to the left for easy. Well, it wasn't too easy.
Imagine the defensive possibilities with Williams, who can guard multiple positions alongside Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. That combination could give opposing coaches headaches. Plus, Williams is motivated to prove herself again. As one insider noted, depth will be crucial when you have a core 3 like ours.
What's up, CC?
How are you?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
You got me rest?
Yeah.
We need players who will not only embrace their roles, but also complement our stars' strengths to maximize our success. But wait, there's another name creating buzz among WNBA insiders. Known as Hollywood, she might be staging the comeback story of the season. Get ready for the Kennedy Carter experience. Let's talk about pure scoring ability. Carter's got it in abundance. We're looking at a guard who averaged 17.5 points in the WNBA last season and is currently lighting it up in China with nearly 30 points per game. That's the kind of offensive spark that could elevate Indiana's scoring attack to elite status. But here's the twist. Carter brings some drama with her game. Remember that incident with Caitlin about that encounter? When asked if Carter said anything after the contact with Clark, the response was brief.
I mean, I thought that they were professional, like as anyone at this level would be. I'm always impressed by the two of them. I think it was also really fun to see them playing together tonight. They had some synergy and the maturity that they have going in, not even just being here at All-Star. But
I don't know what she said. What did you say back? Nothing. Now imagine Carter's lightning quick moves and versatile scoring paired with Caitlin Clark. That backcourt could give defensive coordinators sleepless nights.
Fact, they're talking about Brianna Jones, who was at Connecticut, potentially signing in Indiana. And I think that's going to be huge.
Former coach.
Yeah, former coach.
Carter's been vocal about wanting a new beginning, and Indiana, with its fresh leadership and player-empowering culture, might be the perfect stage for her comeback story. Let's pivot to someone flying under the radar, but potentially crucial for the Fever's success. Monique Billings, a bundle of non-stop energy who could energize Indiana's bench. Her smooth moves were on display with that crafty spin move to the hoop, making it look effortless. During her 2024 stint with Dallas, Billings averaged 7.4 points across 24 games, but numbers don't tell the whole story. She's a rebounding force who creates extra possessions and outpaces other bigs in transition for easy scores. Imagine her paired with Aaliyah Boston. That's a rebounding duo opponents would dread facing. Plus, Billings' defensive versatility lets her guard multiple positions, giving Indiana crucial defensive flexibility. Now, let's discuss the forward spot, because there are some serious free agents available. Here's a potential game changer. Picture Nneka Ogwumike, former MVP and 3-time champion, wearing Indiana's colors. Sounds almost too perfect, right?
Was the reason for putting you on Caitlin? Usually Dejanay guards her.
Just game planning, trying to come up with a strategy. They beat us last time, so we had to do something different. Yeah, that was about it. It was nothing behind it. They got 2 great guards, so somebody got to step up and play defense. And I mean, that's the only way to beat them. So just took on the challenge, and she's a great player. I know next game she's going to come out firing. So got to go back, watch some video and see what we can do. But there was nothing behind it. I mean, that's the only way we can win, honestly.
Ogwumike isn't your typical free agent. We're talking about a 9-time All-Star still dominating with 16-plus points and 7 rebounds per game. But what's really turning heads is her evolved game, now shooting an impressive 40% from three-point range. That's the kind of all-around talent that haunts opposing coaches and gets fans dreaming of titles. As one observer noted, they've shown true professionalism just like you'd expect at this level.
You've been asked to do something today that you haven't done all season. Guard Caitlin Clark. She's 0 for 3 when you're defending her. How have you made your presence felt there?
Well, let me knock on some wood real quick. She's a great player. I know she's going to come out second half ready to go, so I got a key in.
Speaking of exciting possibilities, let's talk about a potential comeback story that could complete Indiana's championship puzzle. Brionna Jones, the 2-time All-Star who was dominating before her injury, is available, and Indiana might be the perfect spot for her return to glory. As mentioned, there's talk about Brionna Jones, previously with Connecticut, potentially joining Indiana. That could be massive. Coming from her former coach, that carries weight. Jones isn't just another player. She's a defensive force who is expanding her offensive game before the setback.
Yeah, I mean, the energy that we're getting, the reception, the eyes that we're getting on us, it's amazing. And it's just because of that new generation that's coming in.
Her numbers tell the story, 14.5 points and 8.5 rebounds per game. But what makes her special is her defensive versatility. Imagine her pairing with Aaliyah Boston in the front court. That's not just a duo, it's a defensive wall that would give opponents fits.
Obviously, we know who Caitlin Clark is and what she's been able, her impact in this league and especially this year. So however we can get it, I'll take it for me personally. So just thankful that I'm able to be a part of it and still be here to witness it. Yeah.
The combination of Jones's rebounding and Boston's shot blocking could control both ends of the court. Now consider this, a 36-year-old veteran playing some of her best basketball yet. That's DeWanna Bonner, and Indiana's definitely interested. Sure, some might question if she fits the Fever's timeline, but her recent matchup with Clark tells a different story. When asked about guarding Caitlin, it was just strategy, game planning. They beat us last time, so we needed a different approach. They've got 2 great guards. Someone had to step up defensively. That's how you beat them.
Points in the second half for DT. Kalani Brown takes the 15. Oh, Natasha Howard one-hands it.
I took on the challenge. She's incredible. She'll come out firing next game. We'll need to study film and adjust, but defense was our only path to victory. Here's what makes Bonner intriguing. She's not just surviving, she's excelling. Last season's numbers, 16.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game are all-star level. But her impact extends beyond statistics. She's versatile, scoring, playmaking, and defending at a high level. While Bonner's age might raise questions, she's showing no decline. In fact, her veteran presence could be exactly what the Fever need. Imagine her mentoring rising stars like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, teaching them the finer points of professional success.
Oh man, I'm super happy for her. She can have it. I think it's really cool to see her do it in the fashion that she's doing it, bringing attention to the game. And you know, I always just try to make sure when people bring it up to me, I always try to make sure that I don't fail to mention, like, hey, she's a human being too, right? So the record's great, but at the end of the day, she's a human being and a person. And we just got to make sure that we show her a ton of love outside of her performance, right? So I think that sometimes we get caught up in the media, no offense, but in the media, you know, trying to break these certain records. But at the end of the day, it will come naturally. She's a baller. She'll be great.
Now, picture this. A player who once dominated the league in both scoring and rebounds. Sounds impressive, right? That could become reality for Indiana with Tina Charles in their sights. As one insider noted, the attention we're getting, the energy around us, it's incredible, and it's all because of this incoming generation. Charles isn't just another free agent. She's a former MVP, 2012, and one of the WNBA's all-time scoring greats. But personal accolades aren't her focus anymore. As she puts it, I want to contribute to a championship caliber team. Despite her decorated career, a title still eludes her, something that could change with the Fever. Pairing her with dynamic scorers like Clark and Mitchell could create an unstoppable offensive force. Everyone knows Caitlin Clark's impact on this league, especially this year. One player commented, "However we can get it, I'll take it. I'm just grateful to be here witnessing it."
Accolades, she's Rookie of the Month, Player of the Month, back-to-back Player of the Week, as she has put forth just a stunning stretch of play.
Charles brings more than scoring. Her floor-stretching ability creates opportunities for teammates, potentially unlocking an offensive system that would perplex opponents. But wait, there's a 3-time WNBA champion available who could bring something even more valuable: championship-level defense. Enter Natasha Howard, who could reshape Indiana's defensive identity. Her highlight reel plays, like that one-handed block on DePaul's Brown, showcase her impact. Howard's stats last season, 1.2 blocks and 1.3 steals per game, only hint at her true value. Her ability to disrupt plays and force turnovers could be the final piece that transforms Indiana from promising to championship caliber. Consider a guard who could transform their backcourt into a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. Kelsey Plum, one of the league's most lethal scorers, who appears to be moving on from the Las Vegas Aces. Think about this. Plum averaged an impressive 17.8 points last season while shooting 40% from three-point range in her career. The kind of accuracy that keeps defensive coaches up at night. With Plum hinting at free agency, imagine a backcourt combining Plum, Clark, and Mitchell. That's not just scoring power. It's an offensive arsenal with 3 players who can score from anywhere. Now for a comeback story that could surprise everyone, remember Odyssey Sims. The former All-Star who's been moving around the league isn't finished yet. She might be exactly what the Fever need to reach the next level. During her hardship contract with Dallas, Sims lit up the scoreboard with 17.2 points per game, the kind of performance that turns heads. She then proved her staying power with the Sparks, starting 10 games and averaging 10.8 points. She was outstanding tonight, just incredible all around. When questioned about consistency, Sims has a direct response: I want to prove I can still perform at an elite level and be a key contributor. With career averages of 14.1 points and 4.5 assists, her track record supports that confidence. She could be crucial in maintaining offensive momentum when Clark needs rest. Speaking of exciting prospects, Kia Nurse is generating serious buzz. She's a 3-point threat who can also lock down opponents, though her recent season has been inconsistent. Could Indiana help her return to all-star form? Let's look at the numbers. Nurse hit a career-best 48% effective field goal percentage last season, but she brings more than scoring. Her defensive versatility could help address the Fever's struggles on that end. As one observer noted, protecting your space is crucial, especially with so much on her shoulders. She had to process everything so quickly, going from college to getting drafted to the WNBA. Barely any time to adjust. Nurse is clear about her goals. I want to contribute to winning while developing my game. That aligns perfectly with Indiana's new direction. Now, here's an intriguing possibility. Erica Wheeler is back in the market with an interesting Indiana history. With Caitlin Clark, it's all about having fun. She's truly young at heart, never too serious, someone close to the team shared. Wheeler once energized the Fever's backcourt with her leadership and playmaking, but recent performance has raised questions. Her production has declined notably, leading to concerns about her competitive level. She's among the highest paid players, which is tough to justify for limited playing time. The question is, would she accept less money for longer-term security, or might Indiana create a coaching role? Enter Liz Cambage, currently dominating in China and hinting at a WNBA return. Could this be a gamble worth taking for the Fever? At her peak, Cambage was unstoppable. 23 points and nearly 10 rebounds per game, with an incredible 51% shooting rate. She's still showing that dominance overseas, suggesting there's plenty of gas in the tank. Picture her alongside Aaliyah Boston. That front court combination could terrorize opponents. Cambage's ability to draw defenders would perfectly complement Clark's offensive style, but there's no avoiding it. Her WNBA departure was complicated. The Fever management has to weigh potential rewards against obvious risks. Now for a mind-blowing possibility. Remember this. Look, SVP, reality is coming. There are levels to this. Could the GOAT herself be wearing Fever colors next season? Diana Taurasi's free agency has the basketball world buzzing with possibilities. Imagine the most decorated player in WNBA history joining forces with women's basketball's rising star. Taurasi's impact on young talent is legendary. Her basketball IQ could elevate Clark's game even further. As the season progressed, Taurasi's attitude toward Clark notably warmed, evidenced by their embrace in their final matchup. In her last press conference, Taurasi praised Clark. What Caitlin's achieved in her brief career is remarkable. What I really love is her passion for the game. You can see the work she puts in. Despite all the pressure pressure in her young WNBA career, she keeps showing up and improving every game. Her future's incredibly bright. As a longtime veteran, it's amazing to witness. Picture Taurasi, the scoring legend, mentoring Clark in what could be her final season. It would be revolutionary. The Fever aren't just building a team, they're creating a basketball movement. With their resources, they're positioned to attract elite talent and transform their performance. But it's about more than star power. They're building a winning culture. Keep watching Indiana. With Clark leading and potential star additions coming, the Fever could become the WNBA's next dynasty. The revolution might be happening right before us. Ready to see the Fever bring the heat? Share your thoughts below, subscribe, enable notifications to stay updated. Check out our next video and we'll catch you on the next one.